today when we were moving the lions, we noticed that Ishka was particularly lethargic. Today I could see a side in Ishka where I thought, okay, well, we need to get the vet out. And so we're probably going to have to dart Ishka, take some blood, and then that blood's going to have to go off for some analysis, and then hopefully we can get to the bottom of Ishka's ailment. Just an update on Ishka this morning. She was released last night back to the Pride, and she was up and about and looking fine. Still not herself, obviously, but hopefully some of the meds will help her and give her some relief. And then later on last night, I got a message from the vet, and basically I'd run the bloods. The blood showed that there wasn't any parasites in the blood, so that could have been from a tick, so that's a good thing. But I suppose the bad news is that it looks like Ishka might be suffering from pyometra, which is an infection of the uterus. Cut a long story short, guys, it looks as though we're going to have to bring the spays that we are planning for early next year. We're going to have to bring Ishka's forward, and if that's going to help her, then that's what we're going to do. I've just consulted with the vet. We'll see when Peter's available, and in the coming days we'll book a time, and hopefully that'll sort Ishka out. Okay, so today we are here for Ishka's spay. Dr. Caldwell's he hasn't seen Ishka before, so this is going on what Stuart found out a week ago. She's been on meds for the last week, and so basically we're here today to do the incision and then to ascertain as to what the issue is. People always ask me, am I nervous to see my babies go under anesthetic? And the truth be known is you never are fully comfortable with any animal going under anesthetic, as we are with humans, because there's always a risk. But I will say I know she's in the best hands, so I'm very confident that all will go well. But there's a little bit of a nervousness in the heart, fluttering. So yeah.
How's Ishka been doing the last week? She's had a few days where she's looking better, and then towards the end of the week I think she's gone back downhill a bit. But I think what's happened is the cumulative amounts of meat over the week has, by the end of the week, it's too much. Behaviorally, not improving. She on the first few days she started looking a bit perkier, coming up, and now kind of fell back into a bit of a lethargy. She's lethargic, huh?
Yeah. She's on the 3rd or 4th enclosure, so do you want to take your car there? Or do you just want to load your gun?
I'll load my gun.
And we walk there?
We walk there.
And then we'll put it on the back of our car and bring
That's
it.
it.
Okay.
We seem to think that there is a problem in her uterus and her ovaries and her abdomen, whether it is a tumor or an infection. She's recovered a little bit on antibiotic treatment, but the main aim of today is to knock her out, reevaluate her, and then do what we call a exploratory laparotomy, where we make a small incision in the abdomen and we go in and check all the organs, and also ultimately do an ovariohysterectomy or spay to remove the ovaries and uterus, because that's, the older they get, that's the organ that gives them the most problems by getting infection, getting cancers, getting cysts and inflammation. Okay, so we're going to dart her and bring her back to here and put her on the table upside down. We're going to shave her abdomen, and we're going to wash and clean it and make it into a surgically sterile environment to make an incision on the midline of the abdomen. And we're going to go through the skin and the muscle layer right into the abdominal cavity, and then we're going to evaluate the organs, do what we have to do inside and to spay her. And then when we close up, we'll just do a 5-layer close-up of different suture materials that are absorbable, so that we don't have to knock her out again to take the stitches out.
Gilly.
That's yeah.
Come, Gilly. So Ishki sitting there. You can see not as responsive as Echo and Obi. Come, Gilly. Come. Come, Sammy. Okay, so we're either going to lock Ishka in the night house and leave the rest out so that Peter can dart, or alternatively, which looks like they're more responsive, I might lock the 3 of them away, and then if she doesn't come, Peter can dart her through the fence. Yeah. Or we can lock them all in here. Come. Hello, big boy, come. Yeah, yeah. I'll actually stop a bit short of.
Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll walk past her and you keep that she looks at you, hey?
Okay.
And I'll walk past and do it from behind. Sometimes if they're quite ill and they got an infection somewhere and all the blood supply is there and inflammatory cytokines, and they take longer as well. I think, well, it's been 7.5 minutes now, so I think she'll comfortably go down 10 to 15 minutes. So.
Okay, so Ishka, was darted about 15 or so minutes ago, and she's gone down nicely, so we're just going to come and make sure that she is sleeping. Peter always gives quite a light dose, which is good. If anything goes awry, you can kind of get her up and going. So just test the ear. The ear is very sensitive, so when you touches the ear, it will flick, but there's no response. So she's quite good. Okay guys, so we're not going to roll her onto the stretcher. We're literally going to put the stretcher under her because it doesn't want her to roll because of the fluid. Okay, so you've got a manpower.
Okay.
So Peter, you want head
facing the anesthetic machine?
Facing anesthetic, okay. All right guys, you ready? 2, 3.
What we do first on the ground, so I can just attach everything, all the pipes and cords and stuff, please.
So we'll just bring it straight in, go.
Perfect, just yeah. Just yeah. Okay, Jalka.
Yeah, immediately Peter can see that her stomach is or her abdomen is quite distended. So it's quite hard. So this seems like, yeah, something's not happy inside there. But we will soon find out.
Okay. Can we start in the chest a bit? Down a bit. Perfect, thank you. We can just go that way, thank you. Put it on there.
So that was the initial, she had an injury there.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that was bleeding. And then that was the initial onset of where she started to go down, you know. And then that healed, the ear came back up.
Yeah.
But then after that she started her lethargy.
That doesn't look good.
Yeah, what is that?
Looks like a melanoma to me.
Does it?
Yeah. Let's get on the table. That's it. Very nice, thanks guys. Pull her back a little bit more. 3. Is that the other one? I'm going to start there with the incision. See, this is all fluid. This is cancer fluid. Mike, I want a sterile syringe, please.
So what do we do?
Kevin, let me see the rest and then take it from there. It's all over.
You can see, I mean, it's like I don't need to be a vet to...
It's all over.
Eesh.
This is just the momentum.
Is the cancer all the white stuff or the brown?
The brown,
The brown
stuff.
stuff.
This stuff, yeah.
Those little cysts.
All this stuff, yeah. Mike, I want to do a biopsy. I'm going to take a whole piece of omentum. I'd probably like to do chest x-rays and further observation to see if it is cancer, if it's spread anywhere.
So we'll have to bring it in.
Yeah.
Today or
Let me get the test results first.
Okay.
Then we make a decision.
That all the fluid from that distension of the abdomen, huh?
That's all that fluid. That's all that fluid. So I'm just going to do that. Dirty fluid. You must not watch. I'm going to let it all come out. Empty that. Sorry, guys. Mikey, will you increase the drip rate for me? And then put towels underneath there, and so if we've got more towels.
I mean, how do you get around with that? I mean,
Prognosis is very poor, Kevin. I think it's intestinal lymphoma. Tell you the honest truth. Let's get the spleen out. Yeah, and I want to try and get as much of that out because I can't visualize anything with all the fluid. You're not going to be able to see it.
Looking for?
The liver is one big mess. Okay. I'd like to do a biopsy, but I think it's just academic. The primary problems in the liver, massive hepatic carcinoma. Like, want to show you, but it's so friable. So I'm going to cut open so you can get to see it.
But this is all secondary.
This is all, yeah, this is all spread. All metastasis. There's the liver. See.
Yeah. Okay, see, yeah.
I'm
You
gonna
can
go.
see.
Okay.
You can see.
I'm going to try and wipe it nicely for you.
Yeah,
It's like
it's all
cluster
globular.
grapes everywhere. That's what the liver looks like. Sorry, full of it.
So, yeah.
I'm gonna do a liver biopsy. Just to show you, we can send it away, but ultimately at the end of the day, the prognosis is not even guarded. It's poor. The whole liver
Oh, I can
is
see.
full of it, and it's spread to the omentum already.
And that thing in her ear is also probably something as a.
I think that could have even been primary. So I'm saying hepatic carcinoma, but a melanoma is a carcinoma, so that may be the primary site that's spreading to the blood. Hematopoietic tumors spread straight to the liver before they even get to the lungs. Thanks. Thank you. Sure. Move over. Come, Mike. Come, it's fine like that. Alright, here's a good clear view of the liver. That's all just cancer, everything. So I'm going to take a biopsy of that. Just producing fluid everywhere.
You managed to get.
Yeah, I got a nice sample there. But the whole liver's full of it. It's all over. Okay, Kevin, we're going to make a decision here of, are we going to stitch her up and wake her up and wait for the results? Or are we going to put her to sleep? Nylon 1, please.
I think you know the answer.
Yep.
Amigo 2 is the smallest.
Michael, you can go now. It's fine.
There's no point.
No. Okay, will you clean her up nicely, eh? Thanks, my man. Sorry. Put her to sleep. You can let go, thank you. Mike? Closed. Got it? Yeah. Okay, so we've completed the exploratory laparotomy of exploring the whole abdomen. The first thing I found was a omentum, which is part of the abdomen that covers the organs, a piece of tissue that looked suspicious of multiple mustard seed-like growths all over it. I took a biopsy of it, and then I explored the rest of it and found that the primary problem was in the liver, and it looked like diffuse hepatic carcinoma, meaning that it's malignant, severe malignant cancer that spread all over the liver, consumed the whole liver. The kidneys are involved, the peritoneum is involved, the intestines are involved, the stomach is involved. So we have what we call a stage 4 or grade 4 metastatic hepatic or liver tumor, which is possibly spread to the lungs as well. I've done some biopsies, and we'll send it away for histopathology, which will give us an accurate indication of which tumor it was. But we made the decision during the surgery that the cancer had spread all over and the prognosis was extremely poor. So we made the decision to put her to sleep, and I think that's the correct decision, because she would have just suffered, and there's no treatment or surgery that have kind of saved her in any way. Look, I always look at it from a clinical point of view as a veterinarian, and I look at what the patient's best interest is. And I mean, I would not have had a doubt to put her to sleep if it was my lion or from a personal interest, because I know how they would suffer, and I've seen them suffer to an extent where people have asked me to keep them alive. I've seen the extent of it. So from a personal point of view, I'm relieved that we put her to sleep and put her out of her suffering.
Yeah, so what started off being a procedure that was meant to be rectifying a infected uterus turned out to be something a lot more sinister, and yeah, I don't think life ever prepares you for these things. People say, yeah, but you got to expect some of these things when you have so many lions, and sure, I mean, sitting from the side of the cricket pitch, it's easy to make those kind of statements, but when you're involved and you grow up with these animals and these animals become a part of your life, it's obviously never easy. So it was a very emotional day today. Yeah, words can't describe it really. Ishka was a 14-year-old lioness, and white lioness. Doc thinks obviously, and it's true, the gene is not as strong. Cancers are more prevalent in the white lions. Obviously, our trust in Peter is immense. We've had a long history of working together, and so he kind of trusts what I tell him about the lions and their feelings and their behavior, and he obviously makes decisions based on that. But there's no substitute for getting Peter out, and actually his experience just is there in the carnivores. You can just see it. I mean, when he looks at them, and yeah, I think he knew there was something more sinister, especially when Ishki went down, and he said, "Feel her stomach, feel her abdomen, and feel how hard it is. And there's something not right here, you know." Obviously, running a place that has aging lions is not easy, because in the back of your mind you now have this reality, or this reality of the scenario playing out of what's just happened today. And the reality is that like people, animals can get cancer. If we had to try and analyze why somebody gets cancer, and you start to think, well, did they do this wrong or that wrong or that, sometimes it could be a yes, sometimes it could be a no. That's life. In this case it was a no. Peter said to me, "Listen, you just got to understand, there's nothing you could have done or should have done to prevent this. This is a horrible, aggressive cancer, and you did nothing wrong, and you couldn't have done anything to catch it or prevent it, and it was inevitable." So we were dealing with the inevitable. Ishka has come a long way with us. She's been a big part of my life and everyone else's lives for a long time, 14 years. So we as humans always have hope, and we never want to ever want to deal really with the worst case scenario. And today we had to deal with the worst case scenario, and I don't think it was easy for anyone who was participating here. But as I said to another onlooker, I said, whatever you're feeling, times it by 1,000, because there's a lot more history that's going on here. It's not just a lion. This is the passing of a friend. So